Paul, Americans love, obviously, everybody of every nation loves to focus on their own nation's role in it. And you pointed out America's, and I appreciate that. But a lot of people, especially in this country, do not really understand the sacrifice Britain made in that war. Specifically, I mean, throughout the war, but the Somme. The Somme was so uniquely terrible. I talk about it on my radio show whenever the World War I comes up, that Americans, I don't know that we've ever had a battle fought on foreign soil that wounded us as a nation the way the Somme wounded Britain. And maybe I'm out of line with that, but you wrote a book called Walking the Somme. Talk about it.
Well, I mean, the Battle of the Somme has kind of occupied my life for most of my life. I was lucky to interview hundreds of Great War veterans who served in the Battle of the Somme. And for them, they kind of went into that battle, which was in the summer of 1916. The first day of that battle was on a perfect summer's day where the sky was blue, there were clouds above, and it could have been a walk in the park. That's what they were told it would be. But at 0 hour, they moved out into no man's land, and all those kind of factors of trench warfare came together in that one moment with barbed wire, deep trenches, dugouts, German machine guns, artillery, and 57,000 British and Commonwealth soldiers became casualties in a single day, of which 20,000 were men killed in action. And most of those casualties were in the first 30 minutes of the battle, as these men moved out of their trenches into no man's land and just got scythed down by machine gun fire. I mean, one of the guys that I interviewed, he grew up in a little town in northern Britain, and he watched people that he'd gone to school with, that he played football with before the war, that he worked with, that he drank in pubs with. You know, they were from an identifiable local tiny community, and they all went into battle, and the whole town was just thrown into mourning as a consequence of this, and was never really the same again. The Somme really kind of ended part of Britain, and the sacrifice on the Somme, 450,000 British and Commonwealth casualties, of which 150,000 were killed. It's something that still resonates, I think, through British society to this day. And when you go there, I mean, I lived there for many years, the evidence of war is all around: crumbling trenches, barbed wire pickets that held the barbed wire up, and bunkers and things like that. But even in the fields, you can find cartridges and shrapnel balls. And when the ploughs ploughed deep, the remains of soldiers, because so many were missing and disappeared into the mud, and in some cases more than 100 years later are still being found.